The expression 3 tangent x sine x plus 5 secant x simplifies to a secant x minus b cosine x, and we need to determine a and b, which means we need to simplify this expression into the expression we need that's given. So I'm going to write the expression here. So we have 3 tangent x sine x plus 5 secant x. We know that, first of all, tangent x is equal to sine x over cosine x. And I see a secant, so secant x is equal to 1 over cosine x, which means 5 secant is equal to 5 over cosine x. So now we're going to simplify 3, convert tangent into sine x over cosine x times sine x from the original expression plus 5 times 1 over cosine x, which is basically secant, just like I wrote here. So now we're going to make this a little bit better. 3 times sine x, that is 3 sine square x divided by cosine x or over cosine x plus 5 over cosine x. I see the same denominator here, so I can collect these expressions together, but I have a cosine here and I have a sine square. I know that it would be a good idea if I have all cosines in here. So I'm going to say, I know that sine square x is equal to 1 minus cosine square x. So I'm going to replace that in here. And since I have a 3 in the front, I have to place parentheses around so I can distribute the 3 inside. So it's going to be 3, and then I will remove sine square x and replace it with 1 minus cosine square x. Everything is divided by cosine x plus 5 over cosine x. Okay, now I'm going to distribute the 3 inside. So I will have 3 minus 3 cosine square x over cosine x plus 5 over cosine x. I have the same denominator, which means I can basically gather the fractions over one denominator. So that's what I'm going to do. 3 minus 3 cosine square x plus 5. Everything is divided by cosine x. Now from here, I see that I have 2 constants that I can add together. 3 plus 5. I take this sign. Don't be confused by that. That is for the cosine square, the negative 3 cosine square. So 3 plus 5 is 8. So this is going to become 8 minus 3 cosine square x divided by cosine x. Now I need to simplify it further, so I will need to separate these into 2. Separate this fraction into 2 fractions, so I will have 8 over cosine x minus 3 cosine square x over cosine x. One of these cosines is going to cancel with the bottom one, and then I'm going to end up with 8 over cosine x, which is essentially 8 times 1 over cosine x, plus 3 cosine x. And this is basically 8 times secant x, because 1 over cosine is secant, plus, sorry, that was not a plus, it was minus. So this is minus, and this is minus. So this is going to turn into 8 secant x minus 3 cosine x, which is the expression that we have in the question. And that is a secant x minus b cosecant x. With comparison, we can determine that a is equal to 8 and b is equal to 3. And that's it.